The COVID-19 pandemic has pushed millions of people into extreme poverty, magnified the vulnerability and lack of resilience of our economies and societies, and pushed us off track in reaching the goals of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The emergence of new variants of COVID-19 virus, along with the unequal access to vaccines, is making the prospect of socio-economic recovery a very reality, especially for developing countries, least developed countries, and small island developing states who are still faced with mounting pressure to escape the crisis, let alone reaching the 2030 Agenda. COVID-19 has also widened the gap in the SDGs financing, adding an estimated $1.7 trillion in annual SDG financing on top of the $2.5 trillion existing gaps for developing countries to meet their SDGs 2030 targets. Aside from the threat of COVID-19, many of these countries are also the most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. This is an alarm to redouble our efforts to support recovery and build long-term resilience to current and future shocks in developing countries, least developed countries, and the small island developing states. Development Working Group, or the DWG, remains the key focal point for the G20 to discuss the issue of global development since its inception in 2010. The DWG has been mandated to coordinate and monitor the achievement of SDGs and other development agendas, while using the global lens to ensure inclusive growth towards all nations, especially developing countries. Under the G20 Indonesian Presidency, there are 4 priority issues the DWG will focus on. First, strengthening recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic and ensuring resilience in developing countries, least developed countries, and small island developing states. In this priority, the DWG will discuss 3 key focus areas, which are crucial for the recovery efforts and achieving resilience. They are micro, small, and medium enterprises and the informal sector, adaptive social protection, and green and blue economy through low-carbon development. Together, these key focus areas strategically contribute as holistic aspects of global development, encompassing economy, social, and environment pillars. Second, scaling up private and blended finance implementation for sustainable development in developing countries, least developed countries, and small island developing states. As COVID-19 increases the need for SDG financing, public funding alone, despite its central and fundamental role to investment in SDGs, will not be sufficient to fill the gap. Therefore, close coordination between public and private actors is fundamental to increase the resources available for development to reach the last mile. Third, renewing global commitment to multilateralism for sustainable development. Global challenges require global cooperation. As the pandemic demonstrates the undeniable truth that current and future global challenges are interconnected, this is the time to renew our commitment for multilateralism among nations worldwide. Fourth, under the Indonesian G20 Presidency in 2022, the DWG will continue to ensure its accountability by reporting the progress of active development commitments and acting as a coordinating body in the achievement of SDGs across the G20 through the formulations of 2022 G20 Bali Update. The 2022 G20 DWG is hosted by Bappenas, or the Ministry of National Development Planning of the Republic of Indonesia. The 4 priority issues will be discussed under a series of events within 2022 in several cities. From Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia, Yogyakarta, the city of philosophy, to Bali, the land of the gods. Building on the legacy of the Italian presidency, the second DWG ministerial meeting will be held on 7 to 9 September 2022 in Belitung Island, which is included as a new UNESCO Global Geopark. Ensuring global cooperation is the key in achieving sustainable development. Recover together, recover stronger.